Good. Let it be hard, because hard is the forge. Hard is the pressure that turns coal into diamond. If life feels too hard right now, it means you're standing at the edge of your transformation. This is not where you break, this is where you rise. Pressure doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to reveal you. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Stop asking why it's so difficult. Start asking what it's building inside you. Growth doesn't ask for your comfort, it demands your courage. The world doesn't give rewards to the comfortable, it rewards the relentless. You have a choice, collapse or conquer. You cannot do both. Life's not going to pause for you to catch your breath. But if you fight through, if you keep showing up, you'll find out who you really are. Every champion you admire was once where you are, broken, defeated, tired. But they didn't stay there. They made a decision. They decided that their story wouldn't end in struggle. They didn't wait for motivation. They acted with discipline. The difference between the weak and the strong isn't the struggle, it's how they respond to it. Hard times don't last, but the lessons do. The strength does. And the man or woman you become at the end is your reward. If it feels like you've lost everything, good. Now you're free to build it the way you were meant to. If it feels like no one is supporting you, even better. You'll learn to stand on your own 2 feet, and that kind of independence makes you unshakable. If you're crying now, that's okay. Let the tears fall. But don't let them drown your fight. Wipe your face, clench your fists, and step forward. This moment you're in, it's not the end. It's the beginning of the new you. The version of yourself who doesn't fold under pressure. The version who refuses to be average. The version who uses pain as fuel. Most people won't make it through what you're going through. But you're not most people. If you were, you wouldn't still be standing. You wouldn't be listening to this. There is something in you that refuses to die. Let it live. Let it take over. Excuses are the language of the defeated. Speak the language of the determined. Replace I can't with I must. Replace why me with watch me. Say it to yourself until your bones believe it. Until your spirit rises up. Until every step you take screams, I'm not done yet. Because you're not. Not even close. This storm is shaping you. This hardship is grinding away the weakness. This darkness is teaching you how to create your own light. The pain isn't permanent, but your power will be. The fire you're walking through right now, it will be the story you tell others who are still lost. You'll look back and realize this is where everything changed. This is where the warrior in you was born. So stop asking life to get easier. Start getting stronger. Start making bold choices. Start embracing the hard. Your destiny doesn't belong to the timid. It belongs to the ones who endure. To the ones who decide that pain is temporary but legacy is forever. You've come too far to quit. You've hurt too much to turn back. You're tired, but you're not finished. Keep pushing. Keep grinding. Keep going. Let the world see what it looks like when someone refuses to give up. If life feels too hard right now, then you're exactly where greatness begins. Hardship is a test, not a punishment. It doesn't come to break you, it comes to reveal what you are made of. Life doesn't hand out strength as a gift. You earn it through fire, through pressure, through nights when no one sees your tears and mornings when you get up anyway. Hardship doesn't knock on your door to destroy you. It knocks to see if you'll rise. The weak call it unfair. The strong call it training. Every storm you face is a question life is asking you. Will you give in or will you level up? This is the battlefield where the real ones are separated from the talkers. You want growth? It's not in the easy days. It's in the struggle. It's in the resistance. You become unstoppable the moment you stop begging for life to be easier and start demanding more from yourself. There is no growth without pressure. Diamonds do not form in comfort. Legends are not made in peace. The pain you feel now is the price of transformation. Most people run from it. Most people get scared when things fall apart. But not you. You're still here, and that means something. That means life hasn't counted you out. That means there's still more in you than what you've shown. You may be tired, you may be bleeding, but you are still breathing. And that breath is proof that your fight is not over. Don't you dare waste it. Weakness complains, strength creates. This is not the time for pity. This is not the time to point fingers or make excuses. This is the time to build, to use every ounce of pain, every setback, every rejection as fuel. Take the anger, take the frustration, take the disappointment, and channel it. Use it like a hammer, or use it like fire. Build your future with the very bricks life tried to crush you with. Don't collapse, construct, don't drown, rise. You don't need everything to be perfect. You just need to decide that no matter what happens, you will not be moved. You are being prepared, not destroyed. If life has stripped things from you, it's only because they were not meant for the next version of you. Sometimes you must be emptied to be refilled. Sometimes life clears the path in the most painful way. Don't cling to what's gone. Build from what's left, even if it's just you. Even if it's only your breath and your will. That's enough. Because inside you, buried beneath the scars, is something untouchable. Call it your fire, call it your spirit, it does not die. It only waits, for the day you choose to unleash it excuses delay. Decisions deliver. It doesn't matter how you got here, it matters what you choose now. You can tell yourself a story about why you're stuck, or you can write a new one about how you got out. You don't need approval. You don't need someone to save you. You need one thing, resolve. Resolve to rise, resolve to win, resolve to endure. People will doubt you, let them. That's their story, not yours. You don't owe them an explanation. You owe yourself the victory. Your current pain is forging your future strength. Stop resenting the struggle and start respecting it. This is where the roots grow deep. This is where the core is strengthened. The breakthrough always comes after the breakdown. If you're on your knees, don't stay there. Stand up. If you're broken, don't hide. Fight. This is your time, right now. Not when it's easier, not when you feel ready, now. In the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the pressure. Because this is where warriors are born, you are not meant to escape difficulty. You are meant to dominate it. You were built to withstand storms. You were wired for resistance. This life owes you nothing, but it will offer everything to those who refuse to be defeated. Get up with blood on your face and fire in your eyes. Let your pain speak only one word. Forward. That's your mission. That's your code. No matter how deep the fall, the comeback is deeper. No matter how far you've been pushed down, you push back farther. If life feels too hard right now, then good. That means you're in the fight. That means you're not pretending. You're not hiding. You're doing the work. And yes, it's brutal. Yes, it's lonely, but it's real. And what's real will last. One day you will look back and realize this wasn't your breakdown. It was your birth. The fire didn't destroy you. It forged you. The pain didn't stop you. It showed you how far you could go. And the difficulty didn't defeat you. It crowned you. Your current pain is forging your future strength. Not someday, not maybe. Right now, in this very moment, the suffering you're feeling is carving out a stronger version of you. Pressure doesn't ask for your permission. It doesn't check if you're ready. It arrives like a storm and demands one thing, respond or fold. Every tear, every heartbreak, every disappointment is a tool shaping your character, sharpening your focus, building resilience you didn't even know you had. And the moment you stop resisting that pain and start embracing it as part of your evolution, that's when your transformation begins. There is no shortcut through struggle. You cannot cheat the process, and you don't want to, because if it came easy, it wouldn't be real. If it came fast, it wouldn't last. This moment right now is your opportunity to stop running and start rising. The pain is not here to paralyze you, it's here to provoke you, to push you deeper into your purpose, to strip away the lies, the excuses, the self-doubt, and leave only one thing standing, truth. The truth about what you're made of. The truth about your capacity to endure, to grow, and to win. Despite everything trying to hold you back, people will see your smile and never know the wars you fought to earn it. They will never understand what you had to walk through to still be standing, and that's fine, because this battle isn't for applause. This battle is for you. This is about the nights you didn't quit when it would have been easier. The mornings you stood up when your body said, stay down. The decisions you made with a heart full of fear, but a mind full of fire. Every scar on your soul tells a story of power. Every wound is a mark of progress. You may be hurt, but you are not defeated. You may be weary, but you are not broken. You are building something unshakable inside. Stop asking for the pain to go away and start asking what it's trying to teach you. There's a message in this moment. There's strength hiding in the very thing you wish would disappear. Everyone wants power. No one wants the path. But the path is where the power is born. You don't grow in ease. You grow in fire. You grow when your back's against the wall and the only way out is through. You grow when comfort dies and discipline rises. And right now, discipline is all you need. Discipline to keep moving when your emotions scream stop. Discipline to hold the line when your world shakes. Discipline to believe in your mission. Even when the results haven't caught up yet, this pain is not the enemy. It's the architect. It's chiseling away the weakness, the fear, the indecision. It's making room for the leader, the fighter, the builder. You cannot skip this stage and still expect greatness. You cannot walk through fire without being scorched. But you'll come out different. You'll come out clearer. You'll come out stronger. And when that strength shows up, it won't leave. Because it was earned. And the strength earned through pain is the kind of strength the world can't shake. You don't need everything to be okay right now. You need to be committed. Committed to your purpose. Committed to your vision. Committed to showing up no matter what the world throws at you. Life doesn't reward the talented. It rewards the consistent, the relentless, the ones who keep showing up even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. So let it hurt. Let it burn. Let it refine you. Because when this season is over, when the fog clears, you'll see what this pain was really doing. It wasn't breaking you. It was building your legacy. You are not alone in this. But even if you were, you still have enough. Enough grit, enough fight, enough soul to walk through this fire and come out with gold in your hands. Others may quit. Others may fall. But you made a different decision. You said, no matter what, I keep moving. That's your edge. That's your advantage. You're not afraid of the hard. You're not looking for the easy way. You're here to earn it. You're here to rise because you were forged in struggle. And that's a fire that doesn't fade every painful step forward, puts you one step closer to the version of you that fear can't touch. Every time you keep going, you're becoming someone that weakness can no longer recognize. You are becoming something powerful, something focused, something that doesn't beg for strength but commands it from within. This pain is forging you into a force that life itself will respect. And soon, what once felt like an ending will be the beginning of everything you've been building for. You are not meant to escape difficulty. You are meant to dominate it. You weren't created to run from pressure. You weren't born to hide from challenge. The strength inside you was not built for safety. It was built for storms. Hardship is not your enemy. It's your training ground. You're not here to dodge the fire. You're here to walk through it and come out forged. Life doesn't hand victory to the ones who avoid resistance. It gives it to the ones who walk straight into the storm and say, I'm not leaving until I win. That's the difference between those who survive and those who lead. One seeks shelter. The other becomes the storm. Stop waiting for life to get easier. It won't. Stop hoping the struggle goes away. It won't. But you will get stronger, you will get sharper, you will get hungrier, and that's the point. When you shift your mindset from avoidance to domination, everything changes. You stop seeing setbacks as signals to stop. You start seeing them as proof you're in the right arena. The only people who don't struggle are the ones sitting on the sidelines. But you're in the fight. You're bruised, but you're in motion. You're tired, but you're moving forward. That alone puts you in rare company. Most people back down when the pressure rises. They make excuses. They look for a way out. But you weren't built for retreat. You weren't designed for comfort. You were made to rise in discomfort, to make decisions when your mind is clouded, to choose discipline when your body screams quit. Every time you decide to keep going, you take back power from your fears. And with every step, you're building something that nobody can give you and nobody can take from you. Self-mastery. That is what dominates difficulty. Not talent, not luck, but the willingness to step into the fire with no backup plan and no exit strategy. The people who reach the top aren't always the smartest, the fastest, or the most gifted. They're the ones who made a vow, no matter what, I do not stop. And that vow is tested in the darkness. It's tested in silence. It's tested when everything you hoped for falls apart. and you're left with nothing but your will. That's the moment that defines the rest of your life. Because how you respond to adversity is more important than any opportunity you could ever be handed. You can build an empire out of setbacks if you decide the story isn't over until you say it is. Don't make comfort your goal. Make power your goal. Make strength your standard. Learn to operate when it's hard. Learn to create when it's chaotic. Learn to rise when you're broken. Because the world doesn't wait for you to heal, it keeps moving. So you have two options: keep up or get left behind. The champions you admire, the leaders you respect, the warriors you quote, they weren't born different. They just refused to let difficulty define their limits. They redefined what was possible through repetition, through discipline, through the decision to dominate, instead of escape, no more asking for the struggle to stop. Ask yourself what you're going to do with it. The pain won't stop, but your excuses can. The obstacles won't disappear, but your hesitation can. You have the power to become unstoppable, but only if you stop trying to avoid the weight and start choosing to carry it. You are not fragile. You are not soft. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a creator of your outcome. You are a builder of your legacy. That's the mindset that rewrites futures. That's the energy that shifts the room when you walk in. That's what makes people stop and say, they've been through hell, but they didn't flinch. You dominate difficulty by showing up on the days it makes no sense to show up. You dominate difficulty by doing the work when no one's watching. You dominate difficulty by silencing doubt through action. Action is the antidote. Move. Speak with your grind. Prove it with your effort. Let your discipline speak so loud that your critics lose their voice. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be days when the mountain feels too steep. But if you take just one more step, one more breath, one more push, you keep your power, and difficulty loses its grip. You're not here to survive. You're here to conquer. You're here to break the cycle. You're here to be the one who says, I was in the middle of the fire and I built a future from the ashes. You're not running. You're not hiding. You're not hoping. You're building. And when they ask how you did it, when they ask what changed, you'll tell them the truth. You stopped running from difficulty and you started rising through it. You made a decision that changed everything. And that decision was to dominate. Weakness complains, strength creates. One finds fault, the other finds a way. One blames, the other builds. There's a massive difference between speaking about your problems and taking action to solve them. Weakness is loud with excuses, always pointing to the unfairness, the timing, the obstacles. But strength? Strength doesn't need to talk, it acts. It turns pain into purpose, turns setbacks into strategy, turns chaos into creation. When the weak cry out for someone to fix it, the strong go to work and fix themselves. This world doesn't reward noise, it rewards results. And results come from those who refuse to be paralyzed by pain and instead turn that pain into progress, the ones who complain. They wait for the right time, the right help, the right feeling, but strength understands that the right moment is the one you take. It doesn't matter if the conditions aren't perfect. It doesn't matter if you're tired, overwhelmed, or uncertain. What matters is that you keep moving. The weak retreat when pressure shows up. The strong lean in. They see pressure not as a threat, but as proof that they're in the right arena. Every time something feels hard, that's a signal, not to stop, but to step forward. The very struggle you're in right now is an invitation to build your next level. Weakness loves company. It gathers around comfort. It surrounds itself with others who validate mediocrity. But strength stands alone if it must. Strength doesn't wait for applause or permission. It moves in silence and lets results speak. It doesn't dwell on problems, it solves them. It doesn't replay pain, it reinvents it. When life pushes, strength pushes harder. When doors close, strength builds new ones. And when everything seems to break at once, strength doesn't break with it. It adapts, adjusts, and advances. You must decide who you are every single day. Are you the person who complains, or are you the one who creates? Your identity is forged by your choices, not your circumstances. Nobody is born strong. They become strong by refusing to quit when quitting would be easier. Complaints feel good for a moment, but they solve nothing. Creation, on the other hand, leaves a mark. It rewrites your story. It shifts your reality. You can sit in the rubble, or you can start laying bricks. You can relive your setbacks, or you can build something greater from them. One path weakens you, the other hardens you for the war ahead. This is not about ignoring pain, it's about deciding that pain is not where you pitch your tent. Strength doesn't pretend the weight isn't real. It carries it anyway. It wakes up early when no one's watching. It trains in silence. It sacrifices temporary comfort for permanent power. There will always be reasons to complain. There will always be people who fold under pressure and want you to join them. But you're not one of them. You weren't built for the easy path. You were made for pressure, for heat, for moments when everything depends on whether or not you'll stand or fall. And if you've made it this far, it means you're still in the fight. And that means you've still got more to give. The difference between average and great is that one stops when it hurts, and the other pushes when it does. One looks for someone to blame, the other looks within, and makes a change. Weakness expects the world to change for them. Strength changes themselves to meet the world. Your grind, your discipline, your commitment, those are the weapons. And every time you choose them over comfort, you are creating a version of yourself that cannot be shaken. You are creating momentum, identity, and legacy. Not someday. Not when it's easier. Right now, through every single hard decision you make, you don't need more time, you need more action. You don't need perfect circumstances, you need a relentless mindset. The ones who win don't always have the most support, the best resources, or the cleanest start. What they have is inner fire. What they have is a refusal to let anything on the outside dictate who they are on the inside. They keep showing up when it's boring. They keep moving when the world says stop. They create when it feels like there's nothing left. Because that's what real strength does. It builds while others break. It grows while others give up. It writes destiny in real time. One action at a time, you can either be a product of your pain or a creator of your future. But not both. The choice is yours, and it's made every single day in silence, in discipline, in motion. Complaining robs you of power. Creation hands it back. You were not made to echo pain. You were made to rise from it. You were not designed to be another voice in the crowd. You were built to be the one who makes the crowd turn and notice. You don't speak your way to greatness. You grind your way there. You build it, suffer for it, earn it, and when you do, no one can take it from you, because you didn't wish for it. You didn't whine for it. You worked for it. And strength that's worked for will outlast every storm, every critic, every setback. Because that's the kind of strength that doesn't fade, it creates. There is no growth without pressure. Nothing valuable is born in ease. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are crushed into brilliance under unimaginable weight. Muscles don't grow without resistance, and neither does character, discipline, or greatness. Pressure isn't the enemy. It's the sculptor. It doesn't destroy you. It reveals you. If you're under pressure right now, it's because life is calling you higher. It's because there's something inside you that needs to be drawn out. And pressure is the only force strong enough to pull it to the surface. Most people want success without the squeeze. They want transformation without tension. But if it doesn't stretch you, it doesn't strengthen you. Pressure exposes the weak parts of you, not to shame you, but to sharpen you, to make you unbreakable. It forces you to focus. It demands that you eliminate excuses, crush comfort, and get real about what matters. Every time life closes in on you, you're being asked a question: will you collapse or will you rise? Will you fold or will you forge? No great warrior was ever built in peace. No champion ever walked into greatness untouched by pain. Pressure isn't a curse, it's the price. And if you're paying it, you're in the right place. Stop asking for a lighter load and start building a stronger back, because pressure is the one tool that never lies. It doesn't care what you say. It sees what you do. And right now, when it feels like everything is weighing down on you, that's when your decisions matter most. Not when it's easy, not when the road is smooth, but when everything inside you wants to quit, and you choose to keep showing up. Growth never comes without pain. That's the contract. You want to level up? It will hurt. You want to stand out? It will stretch you. You want to become unshakable? Then welcome the pressure. Because it's not there to break you. It's there to build the version of you that can handle what's coming next. No pressure, no progress, no tension, no transformation. You weren't born to live small, and that's why life will not let you stay small. It will put pressure on your mind, your body, your soul, not to destroy your spirit, but to sharpen your strength. Pressure rewires your thinking. It teaches you to move with urgency, to think like a warrior, to act like a leader. The world doesn't hand out peace, it hands out problems. But it also hands out opportunity to those willing to face those problems head on. That's the battlefield. That's where legends are born, not in silence, but in the sound of breaking limits. And if your limits are being tested right now, good. That means you're alive. That means you're growing. That means you're becoming something the old version of you could never handle. Don't wish for comfort. Wish for capacity. Because life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who develop the strength to carry more than most can handle. And that strength comes only through pressure. Pressure that doesn't end with applause. Pressure that's faced in silence. Pressure that demands consistency without guarantees. There are no shortcuts in the fire. There's just you, your will, and the weight you carry. But each time you lift it, you grow. Not just stronger in body, but in belief, in mindset, in vision. You're not here to be the same as everyone else. You're here to separate yourself. And the only way to separate yourself is to rise when others retreat, to stand tall when others fold, to keep your focus when the world tries to distract you. That's the mindset of someone who understands that pressure is not punishment. It's privilege. You're being trusted with challenge because you have more in you. You're being trusted with resistance because you're meant to outlast it. You're being trusted with trials because your triumph isn't supposed to look like anyone else's. You either let pressure define you or you define yourself through it. And the moment you stop fighting it and start embracing it is the moment everything changes. Stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. Let the world apply pressure. Let the chaos come. Let the struggle rise. Because now you know, it's not working against you, it's working for you. It's preparing you for something bigger, something bolder, something better than anything you've walked through so far. And one day you'll look back on the pressure and realize it didn't crush you. It created you. It didn't end you. It ignited you. Because there is no growth without pressure. And you are not just built to survive it, you are built to rise through it and use it as the foundation for everything you are becoming. You are being prepared, not destroyed. Right now, it may feel like everything is falling apart. The weight is heavy, the pressure is suffocating, the silence is deafening, and somewhere in that chaos your mind whispers that you're being broken. But that's not what's happening. You are not being destroyed, you are being shaped. The pain is not the end of you. It's the beginning of a version of you that's stronger, wiser, sharper. Every difficulty is training. Every disappointment is a lesson. Every setback is a setup. And when you see life through this lens, you stop asking why it hurts and start asking what it's building this season is not punishment. It's preparation. You are being stripped of weakness, of distraction, of anything that can't come with you to your next level. The struggle is not there to bury you. It's there to reveal you. All great things are tested before they are trusted. A sword is useless until it's been hammered in fire. And just like that, you are being refined, you are being hardened, you are being made ready. And preparation never feels good. It feels exhausting. It feels uncertain. But it always has a purpose. And that purpose is to expand your capacity to carry greater responsibility, greater vision, and greater power. Don't mistake the pressure for failure. It's a signal. It means you're in the process. And processes are always painful before they are powerful. You don't learn discipline through ease. You don't gain resilience without resistance. You don't rise by avoiding the fall. You rise by getting up when the fall hits hardest. This is the part no one sees. This is the behind-the-scenes war where champions are born. And every day you wake up and refuse to quit, you are winning battles your future self will thank you for. You might feel overlooked. You might feel isolated. You might feel forgotten. But none of that is true. You are being hidden so you can be sharpened. The world will see you when you're ready. Not when you're loud, not when you're desperate, but when your foundation is unshakable. Until then, trust the grind. Trust the process. Trust the preparation. Because this is where your character is built. This is where your grit is forged. And one day when the spotlight comes, you'll stand tall, not because you were lucky, but because you were prepared. Preparation looks like failure to those who don't understand it. They see the losses but not the lessons. They see the delays but not the development. They see the pain but not the power being formed in the fire. That's why you can't listen to the noise. You can't listen to people who've never been where you're going. You can't let temporary circumstances create permanent doubt. You are not falling apart. You are falling into place. And nothing you're facing right now is bigger than the power you have within you to rise above it. You are not weak for feeling the weight. You are not behind. Because it's hard, the greatest warriors have the deepest scars. The strongest leaders have walked through fire, but they didn't stop in it. They didn't let the pain define them. They let it drive them. You are doing the same. You are in the furnace, but you are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are being called. Called to lead. Called to grow. Called to break the limits that once held you back. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every silent night, it's all part of the design. And that design is building a version of you that nothing can break when the breakthrough comes, and it will. You'll look back and see how every dark day had purpose. You'll understand why it had to be this hard, why it took this long, why it felt so lonely. Because without the preparation, you would not be ready for the weight of the blessing. Without the struggle, you wouldn't have the strength. Without the nights of doubt, you wouldn't have the depth. And that's what separates the average from the great. The average escape the process. The great endure it. The average want comfort. The great crave growth. The average stop when it gets tough. The great become unstoppable. Because of it, there's a force in you that pressure cannot crush. A fire in you that failure cannot put out. That's why you're still standing. That's why, no matter how much it hurts, something in you refuses to give up. Because that something knows this isn't your destruction. It's your development. This isn't the end. It's the molding of your beginning. And the ones who win aren't always the most talented or the most connected. They're the ones who walked through hell and kept moving. The ones who saw pain not as a prison, but as a classroom. You are in that classroom now. You are learning what they can't teach in books, how to carry pressure without breaking, how to stand when everything tells you to fall, how to believe when there's no evidence. This is the preparation. And when it's done, when the fire settles, when the dust clears, when the scars have healed, you won't just be ready, you'll be unstoppable. Because you weren't destroyed. You were built. You weren't forgotten. You were chosen. You weren't broken. You were being prepared all along. Excuses delay, decisions deliver. Or one keeps you stuck, the other sets you free. Excuses are the language of fear. They give you permission to wait, to hesitate, to procrastinate. They let you build stories around why you can't, why it's not the right time, why it's too hard. But here's the truth. Every excuse you tell yourself robs you of progress. It robs you of power. It robs you of purpose. Nothing changes until you decide. Nothing moves until you commit. You can have excuses or results, but never both excuses sound reasonable. That's what makes them dangerous. They're wrapped in logic, but they're driven by fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of effort, and as long as you feed that fear, your goals remain out of reach. Excuses love delay, they thrive in hesitation. They give you something to hide behind while your dreams collect dust. Decisions do the opposite. Decisions create movement. When you make a real decision, you burn the bridge behind you. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop waiting for a perfect moment. You act. Every excuse you've made has one thing in common. It never got you anywhere. It never made you stronger. It never brought results. But every powerful moment in your life started with a decision. A moment where you chose to stop tolerating less. A moment where you stopped accepting comfort and committed to change. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not filled with time. It's filled with decisive action. And you don't need more time. You need a stronger decision. Excuses make you a prisoner of your potential. They keep you locked in a story that says, maybe later, maybe next time, or I'll try when it's easier. But it never gets easier. You just get more tired. And while you wait, someone else decides. While you explain, someone else executes. While you hesitate, someone else breaks through. That's the reality of this game. Results don't come to the most talented, they come to the most decided. The ones who draw the line. The ones who say, this is happening. Now, no matter what. Decisions create clarity. Excuses create confusion. The moment you decide, doubt disappears. Because now you're not wondering, you're working. You're not overthinking, you're overcoming. A true decision is backed by action, not hope. It's not a wish, it's a command. And when you give yourself that command, you tap into a level of strength that doesn't wait for motivation. It moves with discipline. It walks through fear. It rises above distractions. It keeps going when it's hard, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. The greatest difference between those who build a legacy and those who live in regret is this: the bold made decisions in silence, while the weak made excuses in public. This is your life. No one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to beg you to step into your greatness. It's on you. It's on your choices. And right now, if you're stuck, the reason is simple. You've allowed excuses to speak louder than your purpose. But that ends the moment you decide. The moment you say, no more delays, no more distractions, no more drama. I decide to execute. Excuses are easy. Decisions are demanding. That's why most people never rise. They stay in the land of almost. Almost tried, almost changed, almost made it. But almost means nothing. It builds nothing. It leaves you empty. Decisions demand more from you, but they give more to you. They give you momentum. They give you ownership. They give you a foundation to build something real, something lasting. And all it takes is one. One decision to stop waiting and start doing. One decision to stop hiding and start fighting. You're not stuck because of circumstances. You're stuck because of hesitation. That hesitation is costing you your future, and the price will only go up. You must decide now. Decide to stop negotiating with your fears. Decide to stop coddling your excuses. Decide to move like your life depends on it, because it does. This is not just about goals. This is about becoming. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you want to be. Every excuse is a vote for the person you used to be. You choose which one wins. You choose what story you tell with your actions, so the question is not, can you do it? The question is, will you decide to? Because once you do, the game changes. Your mind aligns, your habits follow, your results multiply. And nothing, not pain, not pressure, not failure, can stop a person who has made a true, irreversible decision to win. Make the decision, eliminate the excuse, and watch everything change. The breakthrough always comes after the breakdown. That moment when everything feels like it's falling apart, when the weight is unbearable, when the pressure is relentless. That's the signal, that's the edge. Right there, where most people give up, where most turn back, that's where your breakthrough is hiding. Pain doesn't show up without purpose. The breakdown is not the end, it's the gateway. It's the point where your old self burns away and something new is born. If you're in the breakdown right now, you're not failing, you're evolving. You're being broken open so the next version of you can emerge. Before every leap there's a fall. Before every victory there's a war, and in that moment of breakdown, your mind is tested. Everything inside you screams to run, to quit, to hide. But breakdowns aren't here to destroy you. They're here to reveal what you've really got. This is where your will is measured. This is where your resilience is refined. The pain, the doubt, the confusion, it's all part of the transformation. The breakdown clears out who you were to make room for who you're becoming. You're not being buried. You're being planted. It's always darkest before the dawn. That's not poetry. It's process. Because when you're stripped of every comfort, when nothing seems to make sense, you're forced to find the truth. You're forced to choose who you are without the mask, without the crowd, without the distractions. That choice births power. That choice builds clarity. That choice is the root of the breakthrough. The ones who win are not the ones who avoid the breakdown. They're the ones who walk through it, head high, heart full. Spirit unshaken, you cannot ascend if you refuse to fall. Growth demands pain. Change demands chaos. And the person who's willing to endure the storm is the one who earns the calm that follows. Your limits don't show up when things are easy. They show up in the breakdown. That's where your excuses rise to the surface. That's where your fears try to take over. But that's also where your decision becomes final. It's in the breakdown that you choose. Will you let this be the end, or will you make it the beginning of something unstoppable? The breakthrough doesn't come on your schedule. It doesn't arrive when it's convenient. It waits until you're tested. It waits until your back is against the wall. It waits until you've run out of options, and all that's left is faith, hunger, and fire. Then, if you keep going, if you refuse to quit, that's when it comes. It doesn't knock. It kicks the door open, and suddenly everything that didn't make sense starts to align. Everything that felt like failure becomes fuel. Every breakdown becomes the foundation for the power you now stand on. If you've hit the wall, good. That means you've reached the point where most people surrender. But not you. You're different. You were built for the edge. You were made for the moment where everything says stop, and you decide to move anyway. That's what the breakthrough respects: relentless action, unshakable belief, a fire that won't go out just because things got hard. You're not here to break, you're here to rise. Again and again, stronger every time. The breakdown is just the pressure that produces your next level. Breakdowns feel chaotic, but they create clarity. They wipe the slate clean. They remove everything false, weak, and unnecessary. The breakdown isn't chaos, it's construction. It's tearing down walls that no longer serve you. It's forcing you to shed the version of you that couldn't carry the future you're stepping into. Every time life breaks you, it's carving a path for you to rebuild better, stronger, sharper, wiser. And if you're in the storm, you're exactly where you need to be. Because nothing grows in stillness. Greatness grows in fire. The breakthrough doesn't happen when you want comfort. It happens when you demand change. And change requires a full collapse of what no longer serves your destiny. The breakdown is that collapse. It's the system reset, the emotional purge, the mindset correction. Let it come. Let it strip away everything holding you back. Let it hurt. Let it stretch you. Because the moment you stop fighting it and start facing it, the power rushes in. The clarity appears. The path reveals itself. Not because the storm passed, but because you stood through it. No one talks about how hard it gets right before it all turns. But it does. The pressure builds, the silence grows, the results seem absent. But those who keep showing up anyway, those who stay committed, focused, disciplined, those are the ones who break through. Not by chance, but by choice. Not by ease, but by endurance. Your breakdown is not your defeat. It's your refinement. And when the smoke clears, when the dust settles, you'll realize this wasn't your end. This was your elevation. Stay in the fire. Face the pressure. Embrace the pain. Because this breakdown is not breaking you, it's building you. And just beyond it, your breakthrough is waiting. Not someday, not maybe, but the exact moment you refuse to give up, when everything tells you to quit. That's when the breakthrough comes. Every time. So if you're in the fire right now, if life feels like it's collapsing, if you're questioning whether you can take one more step, this is the moment that matters most. Do not retreat. Do not fold. Do not give your pain the final word. Stand tall. Lock in. Dig deeper than you ever have before. Because the very breakdown you're enduring is the final gate before everything shifts. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. You're not falling apart, you're being forged. And when you rise from this, you won't just break through. You'll break limits, break cycles, and break records. This is your proving ground. Now show the world who you really are.